Park.
Okay, Zion National Park is in Utah, and we flew into Las Vegas to get to Zion.
It took 3 hours out from Las Vegas, and we were able to camp right at the beginning by the visitor center.
Yes, there's a couple campsites over there, so we got in. Accessibility, depending on the time of year you go, will depend on if you're going to use your car or you're going to use the shuttle system that is set up by Zion. Check the Zion website to make sure you plan ahead and plan accordingly. You can't drive your car there all the time. And where do you have to drive to?
You have to drive to Whipping Rock Stop. I don't know what it is on...
Yes, that's the trailhead, Weeping Rock.
The bus stop, the shuttle stop is called Weeping Rock Stop, and from there you can access the trailhead for observation point.
Yes. So parking and accessibility, check ahead with the National Park website.
Right. Fees, entrance fees, we had $20 a vehicle.
Unless you have the National Park Pass, which then would be $120 or something?
It would be $80.
$80. That's
for a year.
$80 for the year. We recommend it.
Right. There was no fees for the shuttle service. It's included in the fees for the entrance. So it's a free shuttle service that you take depending on what time you go.
Yes. Level of difficulty of this hike. This was a pretty strenuous hike.
I don't think it was that strenuous. It was just long and high, so it made it...
If you're a beginner hiker, I do not recommend this particular hike.
Okay, yes.
But for those people that are avid hikers, this would be perfect. This is really nice. But the difficulty, I say, is definitely challenging.
Because it's very, very long, that's why.
Elevation is 2,100, about 2,148 feet, if I remember. And the actual height of the mountain is about 6,000 plus.
6,500 feet.
Yes.
It feels like 6,500 feet you're climbing.
You're only climbing, though, about 2,100 feet approximately. Ideal time. Ideal time in season.
Spring. This is a spring and fall hike because you get full sun exposure and it's quite steep. So in winter, I mean, we came across some ice patches.
Really icy in spots. Matter of fact, some of the places, if you slipped on the ice, you would have slid, 60, 70 feet straight down. Good thing we had the hiking poles because you really needed them at times to be safe.
Because you can't go around or walk around or something, you have to go through it, and if you slip, you're screwed.
Basically. So we don't recommend this hike in winter if there's any type of ice.
Unless you have crampons, maybe.
Yeah, absolutely. That would definitely help. But then you'd have to take them off because the rest wasn't snowed over.
It was...
And I wouldn't do this hike in dead of summer either because of the heat. You're exposed all the way through.
There's
on
no
this hike.
shade at all.
Very little when you go through some of the canyons, but that's about it. That's the only
It's a very small part of the hike.
From the sun. Yes.
Scenery.
This is absolutely beautiful. You have
very pretty.
You have vista views. You have
vista views.
Yeah, vista
you have
views.
Views of the vista.
Vista views. I like that. I'm gonna use that.
It's very, very pretty. You have wide-reaching views from the top.
Wonderful
and just going
geological.
Up to,
yeah, wonderful geological formations all the way through. Cliffs right next to you.
As soon as
100-foot cliffs.
As soon as you go up, it's really quick when you go up, and then you see views of Whipping Rock waterfall, and then you go into the canyon, and then you see all the sandstone, and then you start going up the mountain, and it's really pretty.
Yeah, it's great. It was one of the best hikes we did, probably in the park, for sure.
Wilderness factor.
You felt like you were out there. You didn't have any buildings surrounding this particular hike, nor did you have any telephone poles obstructing the view of the wilderness.
You couldn't see any cities or anything from this hike, so it
Ye-
felt like pretty desolate.
Yeah, it felt desolate for
Except
sure.
for the people on the hike.
Yeah, the people would be the only thing bringing it back to
Reality. Wildlife. We saw a family of deer, but that was early on in the hike.
Yeah.
In the lower elevation.
You're not gonna go on this side expecting to see any real large animals or such like that,
You'll see chipmunks.
and maybe some hawks, but really it's a low wildlife hike for sure.
Yeah.
Don't expect to
much.
see anything major.
Trail conditions were
Trail conditions were great. You could tell where the trail was at all times. You were
you go.
walking on rocks.
Well, it's part paved and part carved, and there was just
Just
At
the
the-
first part was
Right.
paved up through the switchbacks.
at the start. You have the switchbacks, and then it branches off into Hidden Canyon Trail, and then Observation Point Trail on the left.
Yeah.
So you go through the left, and then it gets into go through the canyon after that, and then up through the sandstone and mountain, and that's all carved.
Yes,
So it was very easy terrain.
yes.
That's
for
why
sure.
I thought it was easy and not challenging.
We did encounter a little bit of mud at the top, but that was
Yeah.
just in certain areas.
That's the only time it wasn't paved or carved
Yes.
at the tip top. It's a
Uh,
long, long way.
People on the trail, everyone that we encountered were really nice. It was great. But we did come across a lot of people, so
There
just
was-
be
yeah.
aware.
There were more young people, and there's a couple families, no one too young or too old, because it was
Yeah.
such a long hike.
So if you expect to get away from people, this is probably not the best hike. There
Right.
are others that would be more desolate in terms of people.
Hmm.
Facilities and eats. Good luck on this one.
You have rocks and
You
you
have
have bush.
Your backpack. There's nothing here.
Your shovel.
You're bringing everything in, and if you have to use any type of facilities, you're on your own. So
Remember to
pack
leave no
accordingly.
trace,
Leave no trace.
which is hard to do. Anyway,
Okay, distance of this hike was 8 miles back and out. We're
in and back,
out and back.
out and back,
Out and back.
out and back. 8 miles round trip.
8 miles, and they said 5 hours to do this. We
But
took way longer than
it
that
always
doing the
takes us
video
long.
and the photos.
Right.
Phobias on the trail.
Heights.
If you're afraid of heights, this might not be the best particular hike for you.
But it's not that bad, because like Angel's Landing, really bad.
Yeah, that would be something that I would advise no one that's.
No.
But this hike,
It's okay.
you could probably get by. You might be a
Yeah.
little scared,
Just
but
don't look down, you know. And don't go to the edge. You'll be okay.
so phobias would be probably just heights, and that's it. And anything else, snakes, insects, not a problem here.
Yeah, no insects. I
Okay.
didn't see any insects.
No, Matt and Kim, I hike around
Observation Point, Utah.